In the quiet town of Millbury, where the fog clings to the cobblestones and the air is thick with untold secrets, stands an old house with walls that seem to breathe. This actually happened, a story whispered through generations about the hidden door. Press your ear against the plaster, and you might hear the whispers calling you closer. When Ellie, a curious teenager, moved into this ancient abode, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The whispers grew louder as she explored the dusty hallways. Her friends, equally intrigued, often gathered at the house to test the tales they'd heard, hoping to uncover the mystery behind the walls. Ellie's new home harbored an eerie legend, a hidden door, it was said, that once opened, could grant your deepest wishes but at a steep price. The story was both alluring and terrifying, a siren's call to those desperate enough to seek it. Ellie, driven by the promise of relief from her troubles, was tempted to listen. With each visit to the house, Ellie and her friends found themselves drawn to the whispers. They followed the soft, indistinct murmurs through the maze of rooms, winding closer to the source. It felt as though the walls themselves were guiding them, urging them toward the hidden secret in their depths. As they delved deeper into the house, the air seemed to thicken with tension. The whispers grew more coherent, echoing tales of desire and despair, urging them to make a wish. The allure was irresistible, a promise of fulfilled dreams, a temptation almost impossible to resist. But something felt wrong. The deeper they ventured, the more they sensed an unseen presence watching, waiting. Cold drafts brushed against their skin, and the floorboards creaked with an eerie resonance, as if the house was a living entity, drawing them further into its grasp. One night, Ellie's resolve wavered. Driven by desperation, she placed her ear against the wall and, without thinking, whispered her darkest desire. The whispers ceased, replaced by a chilling silence that seemed to stretch into eternity. The air was charged, electric, as if the house itself was holding its breath. The silence broke with a soft click, not unlike a latch being opened. Ellie turned to her friends, eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. They had found the door. It stood slightly ajar, almost inviting, yet foreboding, as if daring them to step through and face whatever lay beyond. Heart pounding, Ellie reached for the door, her fingers trembling. Her friends, standing close, exchanged anxious glances. Could this really grant their wishes, or was it merely a trap? The air felt thicker, tinged with anticipation and dread as they stood on the precipice of the unknown. As they crossed the threshold, the room beyond was shrouded in darkness, save for a faint glow emanating from the center. It was there, in the eerie luminescence, that they saw it, a mirror reflecting their deepest desires, their dreams, their nightmares. The house had shown them its true nature. In that moment, the whispers returned, swirling around them like a cacophony of voices. Each one was distinct, yet united in their warning, a chorus of regret and despair, revealing the true cost of their wishes. The house fed on dreams, leaving only husks of those who dared to ask. Panic set in as the room seemed to close around them. They realized with horror the whispers were not mere echoes but the voices of those trapped within the walls. Souls ensnared by their own desires, now doomed to warn others of the price they paid. Desperate to escape, Ellie's friends turned to flee, but the whispers ensnared their minds, pulling them back into the abyss. Ellie, in a moment of clarity, realized the house demanded a sacrifice, a soul to replace those it consumed. It was the key to their salvation. Knowing what she must do, Ellie steeled herself. She had wished for something she couldn't take back, something that had brought her darkest secret to life. To save her friends, she would have to give herself to the house, to become one with the whispers. With tears in her eyes, she stepped forward, feeling the cold embrace of the shadows wrap around her. Her friends watched in horror, powerless to stop her as the house claimed its due. The whispers rose to a crescendo, engulfing Ellie in their mournful symphony. Ellie's friends could only watch as the whispers subsided, leaving a profound silence in their wake. The door, once ajar, closed with a finality that echoed through the house. The room, now empty, carried an air of loss, yet also of an unspoken promise, a warning left behind. The friends, hearts heavy with grief, gathered themselves and fled the house. Outside, the world felt unchanged, yet they carried with them the weight of what they had witnessed. The whispers lingered in their minds, a constant reminder of the sacrifice made within those cursed walls. In the days that followed, they vowed to never speak of that night again, yet the whispers persisted, echoing in the corners of their minds. The house, now silent, stood as a tomb for the fallen, a monument to the dangers of unchecked desires and the cost of wishes granted. The terrifying revelation was clear: the whispers were the cries of those who had come before, trapped in the walls by their own wishes. Ellie's voice joined theirs, a constant warning to the curious, an eternal guardian against the temptations of the hidden door. Her sacrifice had saved them, but at a great cost. If you're watching this in the dark, remember that curiosity can lead to frightening places. In Millbury, the house with walls that breathe remains, a silent witness to the perils of the hidden door. Subscribe for more stories, but tread carefully, for some doors are best left unopened.